Hello, Atlantia.
Hola, Atlantia.
So this week, because the request came in for them, we have to show our giant puppies.
Last week, you guys couldn't see them because they were already asleep. So we thought we'd start with them this week. This is Morgan. Morgan weighs 24 and a half pounds now, and he has taken every opportunity to roll in pine sap. So he's going to have a bath later.
And Murphy is, what, 24? So they're both chunking up pretty well right now for us. So if we can, Cecily, if you'll come get them, if you take Morgan first.
Here you go. Oh, thank you, Cecily.
We can, it's possible to do business with Morgan, but certainly not Murphy. I mean, with Murphy, not Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan's a little antsy.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay. So hope everybody's had a fantastic week. We've had a good week here, and this is going to be a little bit longer than normal. We have a lot of business to talk about and a lot of things to bring you up to date with. So hang in there, and we'll get through as quickly and efficiently can. Enjoy an adult beverage, and on a very hot day.
Very hot day. You can notice that we're doing this inside instead of outside this week.
So a little bit of business. Kingdom offices. Like to announce that Sir Jocelyn has accepted the position as Earl Marshal for the Kingdom. This is after Duke Vlad has done a fabulous job for too many years, sacrificed an awful lot of his own individual fund for the benefit of all of us in the Kingdom, has ushered in a lot of new things that we take for granted, and the last of which is the steel fighting, which will, the experiment will end under Duke Vlad's reign as Earl Marshal, and the official starting of it will start with Sir Jocelyn. So that's outstanding and well done. So thank you very much, Duke Vlad, and your lady will get much more of your time at events.
You're welcome, Calissa. Yeah.
And speaking of steel fighting, or rebated steel combat, or
armored rebated combat.
Right. Sir Tosh has accepted the position to take on the role of being special deputy for that. He will report to Sir Jocelyn directly. So we are happy to say that we are at full staff. Brian is back with us on the rapier side. So Atlantia is Earl Marshal, and their staff is in well order, and there'll be some announcements about the changeover and exact timing of that from Duke Vlad. And so I ask all of you to welcome these guys and help them with their job, because it's critical for our success. All the fighting community of Atlantia.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. You've got business?
So keeping on with our business today, baronial pollings. We had 2 baronial pollings that came due within the last few weeks. That would be Stierbach and Lockmere. And we want to announce the next Baron and Baroness for both of those baronies. For Stierbach, the next Baron and Baroness will be Lord Wolf and Lady Jeanette.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, you guys. Thank you also to the other people on the poll who were Duke Ragnar and Duchess Lynette.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. For Lockmere, the new Baron and Baroness will be Lord Linhart and Magistra Lydia. So congratulations also to you guys, and also to the other generals on the polling, which was Lady Anne and Lady Anya, and Lord Chris and Dame Diala. So thank you guys for putting forth your name. We know, just like we've said previously, there's going to be an investiture sometime, but we don't know when. We'll let you know when we know.
So the instructions that we give to all these newly minted baronial barons and baronesses that are due an investiture is work with the current folks. Put as much planning as you can into it. So far, everyone has requested that they have an in-person investiture. The outgoing have wanted in person so that they can give awards, they can say thank you, and they can look at their people that they have had support from and they have supported for so many years. It's an opportunity to say thanks, and it's an opportunity for the new folks to step up and go, wow, we're ready to get going. We've got a lot of energy, and here are our plans. So we're going to keep going that way. If there's a medical reason or a work reason that requires us to do something differently, we'll handle that. But as to date, we've been fortunate and we haven't needed to do it. So
we've been lucky. So we have 2 other baronies also that are in the process of polling. One is Sacred Stone. Those pollings are due to us by August 5th. And Marinus is in the early stages of their polling process. I believe theirs is due to change over in November. So they've gone ahead and started the process with us since nobody knows really what's happening.
So Sacred Stone, don't forget to get your pollings in. We haven't seen a great deal of them so far, so don't let the time slip away with you.
Also, just so everyone is aware, obviously during this time, so far, or at least we had planned to do 5 investitures originally. And obviously some of those people's terms have formally ended. There is a variance in place, just so everyone knows, that those terms are extended kind of indefinitely until the investiture is able to take place.
So we're legal.
We're legal. So you guys are worried. It's all good.
Okay, so I want to give a thank you here. This is not our call out, but this is recognition for citizens of Atlantia who are doing the right thing. And then I'm going to challenge them to do even a righter thing. So bear with me on this. It might take a hot minute. So there was a group of Atlanteans who were putting together a private event when COVID first started. Everything was slowed down, and their best intentions were, well, to get together in a state that was open and have some shared activities. They recently canceled that. And they canceled it because they looked around and they saw that the situation they're in was not controlled as they hoped it would be. I think some of them took some personal hits on finances, but they did the right thing and canceled it. And then they rescheduled to put a fighting event on, I think it's June of next year or something like that. And to try to put that energy and effort into welcoming everybody back in. So my request for them is this. Take a look at what you're scheduled against. I think you're scheduled against university at this point. Since you're primarily putting together a fighting track, my request is reach out to the university chancellor and see if you can tie your desire and what you're wanting to do at the event and tie that into a university track. University is working hard with individuals, with the monarchs, with the great officers, to try to expand and put in a fighting track as a matter of course instead of by exception. So if you guys could reach out, work with her, and let's see what we can put together. It could be located at the same site, or it could be located in different sites and then just tied together with part of the curriculum. I know you guys can work it out. I think it would be a great opportunity, and it really speaks to the thought, the consideration that we are executing here as Atlanteans, all of us, compared to what some other kingdoms are struggling with and some of the issues they're having. So I really mean it in my sincerest thanks to the folks who were looking at putting together an event that wasn't publicized, it was private, and then saying, hey, this doesn't feel right. We're going to do something different, and we're going to look out further into the future, and hopefully by that time we'd have the opportunity to do an event. So guys, gals, thank you. Hope you can work together and pull this together for an expanded university in the June time period next year. Cheers.
Thank you for doing the right thing. So as we've mentioned on a previous message, His Majesty and I are sponsoring a leather coronet and crown design contest, which we hope to announce the winner at Pensick in Your Backyard.
We will announce it.
We will announce it. We've received a couple already, but I wanted to bring it up again to urge people to it's not too late. And you do not have to be the artisan who creates the design to submit a design. So,
you mean they have to be the
oh,
artist who create the
the
design.
final product. You don't have to be the
They don't have
artisan.
to make it.
Right, you don't have to be the artisan who makes the actual crowns and cornets, okay? You can be the art person who designs them. So we'll look at all those, and we may have a couple other people in here to be more, give additional insight as to, the best design. And then we will choose that leather design. Remember, I posted about this also on the Book of Faces. So we do want ignore those noises, those are puppies running into things. We do want the designs to have a flavor of Atlantia, so that when you look at them, you can say, oh, well, those are Atlantean crowns wearing those. So this is, just so everyone knows, we're not asking anyone to donate their time or effort on making these. Once we choose the actual design, we will then have them commissioned, and His Majesty and I will pay for those commissions. We don't expect you to, take a hit for that. Everybody, it's hard times, and we're going to pay for them, and then we will donate them to the king. So there will be a full set of leather cornets for the heirs and crowns for the monarchs.
In the names of the people who designed them and built them.
Yes, they'll be sponsored in your names. So get them to us. If you have any designs, thank you.
Okay. King's Challenge for this month. Wow. One thing is for sure, Atlanteans like food. We haven't had a more successful challenge for the King's Challenge for a month. The things that we're seeing come across and the efforts people are putting in, my goodness. Atlanteans like food. There just can be no doubt about it. I have seen wonderful dishes and appetizers and breads, which we're not supposed to eat a whole lot of, but we love the most. Oh my goodness. So thank you. Share your recipes and keep those coming. We look forward to seeing the efforts of that on a table spread for Penzic in the backyard when that comes around.
I don't know if anyone's noticed, but we've been photobombed by the large here, the senior lady here in the house.
She has her summer haircut.
She has her summer haircut, and she wanted to get her opportunity to be on the screen as well. So thank you. This is Misty, and she weighs 105 pounds.
So she's a little girl.
Yes, she's a little girl here.
Okay, next, call-outs. So you could argue, and you wouldn't be wrong, that this should have been our first call-out. You could argue that this should be our last call-out. But the history behind this person is this. When we were getting ready to step up as king and queen, and we were meeting with their then majesties, Cuin and Signy, we talked about this particular position. We talked about the importance of putting Atlantia online and putting things online that hadn't been done before. And who could we trust to have the energy, the heart, and the soul to do it every single day, to care about it, and to drive for excellence?
So who is that person? It's Duchess Adelheid. Duchess Adelheid, you're our call out this week. You have rocked virtual Atlantia. You've made it come alive. I know you've had help. You've worked with the Kingdom Web Minister, Melchior, but you are the soul behind this. You put up your own material. You have this day in history. Every day you have an article on that. Sometimes you get guests, people to donate their day that they found for the day in Atlantia. You're making sure the calendar is done. You instruct people on how to use it. If they contact you, you are a social media goddess. So we're calling you out. Thank you so much.
You're here. Okay, another little bit of an odd issue. Why do I get the odd ones? Because Her Majesty likes things very tidy and clean.
I'll share.
So you may hear in the next week or two that the kingdoms of the known world have petitioned the board of directors to postpone the SCA until January. this is true and this is untrue. What has happened is the monarchs from North America and have put together a request from the BOD to give us some leadership and say, for kingdom level events, baronial level events, events in general, due to the COVID situation, due to the risk for getting sites and the potential loss for monies, which other kingdoms have suffered in a way that Atlantia hasn't. Not every kingdom has a seneschal as stellar as we do. That's their fault, not ours. But that guidance hasn't been there, and they've incurred some difficulties that we just haven't had in Atlantia. But the request is to delay an official start and give some guidance that way until January. And before January gets here, to do a review and see if it needs to push out further than that. This does not affect local activities. Local activities are by kingdom basis, and our seneschal is going to be putting out guidances for the local activities that are authorized to be advertised on the Atlantean sites for August. I expect that very soon. It'll come out sometime this week, I'm sure. And then we will look to her guidance to step that up and to be able to do more potentially in the following months. Now, this has not been agreed to by the board of directors at this point, but it is a request from the kingdoms to put us all on the same sheet of music. Now, there's two big exceptions for this. The kingdom of Drachenwald and the kingdom of Lockout have said, hey, we've done a good job mundanely. We've taken our numbers down. We're open for business. We're able to do things. We don't want to be a part of this. We're already having events. So they're not involved. So if you hear the entire SCA is doing it, it's not correct. If you hear that it's a done deal, it's not correct. It is a request for guidance, and that's where it stands at this point. We'll keep you updated. I'm sure the seneschal will keep you updated. This is breaking news as of the last few days, I think it's fair to say.
Yes, so don't, right. It's not set in stone.
So don't overreact to it. Don't underreact to it. It's a look for saying, hey, we should be on the same sheet of music, and we should have some basic rules for keeping us between the buoys. And that's what we're looking to do.
All right. So Picnic in the Backyard, it's coming up August 7th through 9th. I know that people are hearing a lot about it. There is an invite posted, I believe, on the Book of Faces. There's also general commentary. And then there's Themor Wenna's daily countdown.
Oh my gosh.
There are pictures of gates. There are activities being involved. His Majesty and I have already started talking about our camp layout. How many
Gotta get your troll pictures in. Have you sent the troll pictures?
I haven't sent my troll pictures
oh my
yet.
God.
I'm but we're talking about our camp, and we're gonna have maybe a pop-up fire pit because we have one of those. We'll see.
I thought you were gonna dig a fire pit.
I know it's 96 degrees out. I don't foresee digging a fire pit in my near future. Wow. And the pop-up fire pit may just be for looks. It's 96 degrees that weekend. But so you guys should be planning. We're looking really forward to it, and to seeing people virtually, and recording, and joining Bardics and happy hours, and having our party tunics, and just having a good weekend with people. And once again, if you don't have a backyard, it's okay. It's the concept. Have it in your home. Have it in your living room, or in your den, or down in your man cave, or whatever works for you to have painting.
Whatever space you have is the space that's going to become magical, and we're all going to share it.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's it today, folks.
So I have to apologize. I have a major fashion faux pas, and I blame it on Bryce de Byram, because I must have channeled my inner Bryce, because I would never do this any other way. I have brown with black, and I just hate that. And Bryce, quit thinking.
Yeah, and if you'll notice, we did not coordinate. Red, white, and blue, and pink and gold, not so much. But
Independence rules. Okay, guys. Have a great week. Think positive thoughts for the puppies. They certainly need to eat more.
yes, absolutely. They need to gain more weight, so then it's impossible to carry them.
Cheers. Have a great week.
We'll see you next week.